Good evening. It's activation night. You will. And don't worry about it, because everybody's going to get from here is going to get invited anyway. So don't worry. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Sure you guys can see and hear me, judging because I'm answering questions. So tonight is activation night, and we're going to activate everything we've gone over for the last, I don't know how long we've been doing this. It seems like a long time, yes? I'm going to throw this in there because I need to have it. And my name is Steve Allbright, and I'm a master neurolinguistic programmer, master certified hypnotist and ontologist. I have a doctorate in metaphysical sciences, which makes me a doctor. And my specialty is working with people with organic illnesses that have at its root cause repressed emotions, and deal with people that have been to doctors and specialists of all kinds and can't find any answers. But what I'd like you to do is just sit back, get comfortable this evening, and just soak it all in. Okay? First off, let's ensure that we resolve anything that comes up in life, and not only for yourself, but for others and for family as well. All right? Most important are the ones that you can't stand in the family, because they're the ones that weaken you the most. So you want that connection to be even with them, even if they're not living with you. And you want that to be even in both directions, for thinking, emotion, and reaction, okay? And reaction is weakest here for the group. Well, not you guys so much, but for them with you. So let's ensure that you don't go there, that you don't have any weaknesses, and that you be strong to processing it. And you don't need to understand it. You just need to be strong towards it, okay? And you don't need to know their reasons whatsoever. Cool? Awesome. All right, don't try to use emotional intelligence. It doesn't exist, and that would just cause a lot of misinterpretation for you. So let's reinforce neutral with the family, you being neutral so that you're above it all. And you're above it on all levels, and you transmit and receive openly. And you want to be strong to your mind to not get let in, all right? And you want to be strong to not letting other people's minds, so that they will not weaken you as well, all right? Most of us in the world today, folks, are chemical factories, all right, not computers, except for this group, of course. And you're told about a problem from a doctor, and it's easy to have a misinterpretation, or from any perceived expert. So let's ensure that there are no misinterpretations that lead to sickness, disease, or envy. And your mind and brain are used together so commonly in the world. They're like interchangeable for most people. And that's what actually leads to mass confusion. So if you have any confusion, then there's no certainty to resolve. All right. So let's ensure fulfillment of needs, wants, and desires. And each of those needs to be equally strong with each other. And then make sure that the triad is absolutely 100% strong as well, so everyone gets what they want. Cool. Right. The entire process is about feeling strong or weak, and then always making comparisons. So when you're unsure, you basically bring up every memory from when you were unsure all the way back to the beginning of time. All right. Weakness will always get in the way of acquisition. So you need to be strong, and you need to turn on to that, okay? So that you have no emotion about it. And no emotion about the acquisition that you're making, all right? You want to be strong to your emotions and strong in deleting the cumulative effects of emotions. When you have an emotion, it triggers all previous emotions. So we only want to have new experience. We only want to experience new emotions, all right? We don't want to experience the old ones. We've already had them. So we would delete all of those out and only experience the new emotions as they come in. And I know I'm jumping, all right? And I'm just following around with whatever the group's weaknesses are today, all right? And every group is different, so. Spirit is there whether you accept it or not. But you still must be strong to it, even if you don't accept it. All right. So you want to follow your feelings, perception, intuition, and automatically get insight. And it's just simple to use the tools that you've been given, and be strong to uncertainty and doubt, or insufficient confidence, which is basically uncertainty and doubt. All right. Strong or weak is just zeros and ones, and that tells you exactly what needs to be resolved. All right. These are tools that have absolutely no results when you use them. Motivation, inspiration, passion, they don't lead anywhere. They feel good for a short period of time, but they don't resolve any problems. So deletion is the key, and deletion is what we use. Speed is a little weakness here in the group overall. Non-physical, which speed seems to be non-physical, but it's actually physical. All right. So you want to increase the speed and strengthen speed. Some spiritual illness, not really spiritual. So the illness is a weakness. One that's indicated is like 90%. So you would lower that to 0 minus infinity. 0, which is the beginning place for you to discard for anyone. You got to get everything down to 0 and minus infinity to make sure that it never comes back. Yeah. And on experience, you want to do a general deletion of weakness to clear through the clutter. All right. And then the next one that comes up will be the weakness inside of the body. So you would follow it, you would strengthen it, and you would delete it all the way down to the atoms and the quantum particles, so that you are balanced, centered, and stabilized with all the atoms in your body. You guys just fucking inspire me. I love you guys. No worries, Vince. You want to tense, remember, you want to tense a tissue to get everything out of you, in order to get all of the waste out, get it out of the tissue, get it out of the cells. So you tense and untense. And you want to energize the empty space in your whole body. So you want to compare energy, and anywhere that it's weak. obviously you strengthen what's weak, and then you strengthen for deletion down to 0 minus infinity, and strengthen the energy, all right, to 100% plus infinite potential. You always want that strong, because if you don't have enough energy to separate cells, all right, there's always this space between cells, then in where there's low energy will collect waste, and you'll have dead cells and waste in the empty space. And the mind will actually convince, you like my coffee going back and forth? Will convince your body to add a layer and encapsulate the waste, and then the waste products and the dead cells, which now you have the beginnings of a tumor or a fibroid tumor or a cyst, okay? They start off as a cyst. So if you're strong with the empty space, you'll never have a tumor. Energy just prevents that. So you want to be strong with the space every day when you go through the process. Concern comes up for family members, and you would delete the cumulative effect, and you would strengthen the best in them. Okay, strengthen the best of their strengths. And if you find any weakness, then you want to strengthen them with the weakness, and just make your entire family better in connection with yourself. And again, you don't have to tell them, you just do it. All right, now I'm going to speed up the connection to you to strengthen, all right, so that you can find any weakness in literally nanoseconds. We get to consideration. So there's no lack of respect with the family. And you want to make everything even, like we did before, so that there's no arguments or debates, all right? And you want to integrate your life fully, moving in a direction of neutral, where you're in charge of all your surroundings, all right? Be strong for certainty by deleting out any uncertainty, and that will get rid of any weakness for you. Remember, family members affect you, so you don't question why. You just strengthen the weakness. It's just that easy enough. All right, put your thought on the midline. You want to become centered, balanced, and stable, and now you're neutral with the entire situation. Okay. Less than 1% of people in the world can actually reach neutrality. All right, so you want to strengthen that in each one of you to 100% plus infinite potential for 100% infinite time, okay? And so there's no concern that we can't resolve a problem, because we can. We are now all experts in that, all right? God created human intelligence in milliseconds, and you've been given the tools, feeling, perception, intuition, which gives you your insight, which increases your physical performance, so that you're functioning the way you're meant to function, all right? CNS, your central nervous system, you want strong to every part of your body, and every part of your body back to the central nervous system. And you make those strong to maintain the integrity throughout your entire system. So let's ensure that everything stays strong from all of the sessions that we've done. And things are shifting inside of you now, and that's good. They should be shifting. Just be aware of it. You guys agree? Yes? I can't hear you. All right, human resolution mishap.
Yes.
We strengthen, thank you. We strengthen the mind to misfit or misinterpretation and misinformation and false tools of the mind, all right? Even mistaken identity. So you want to change that so there is no criticism, etc., and strengthen it so it's easier. It's just easier for you not to have any misinterpretation from any siblings. Let me go back to gender misinterpretation. It's not the women in this group. It's still the men who have misinterpreted women in the group. So we strengthen that. And there's no right or wrong, no judgment. We just make the comparison and then make it even with one another. Misfit, misfit, I love that word, is the experience of people fitting in with one another. So there's a little weakness to it, all right, which is more ideology, is the reason most of the time. So let's remove misfit to each other, and let's strengthen that weakness and delete it out entirely to 0 minus infinity. False tools is misinformation and identity. And you want to compare, you want to find what remains the weakest. It could be depression, it could be denial, it could be lying, and it could be shutting down, all right? And shutting down is not the weakness. Forgetting comes up as a leading weakness with this group, like 40%. So strengthen that and make improvements just by processing it, all right? And ensure that there's no forgetting leading to any type of dementia, senility, or Alzheimer's, all right? And this group has a small weakness to senility. So you want to strengthen that and delete it down to 0 minus infinity. And strengthen forget, either partial or near total shutdown. And you want to strengthen both of those and delete out any of the possibility that can ever happen. Second weakness is virtual reality, which is not bad. So we're always comparing the three elements to come together so that they're much stronger. And the more direct the question, when you're going down, you can do like a general deletion, but then you can start getting specific when you start finding the weakness. So the more direct the question, the more resolution that you will get. Everything is even. Nothing down to human mishap, no weakness. So same, not same, different, not different, perception, no perception. Let's ensure that it's strong for both the hexagon and the pentagon to 100% plus infinite potential. And you want to compare those elements, each element of the hexagons in physical knowing, and make sure each one is strong. Yeah, I know. So where's the chart, Steve? Okay, well, I don't have the chart today, so I have to revert back to the chart. Actually, I'm going to send you guys a file at the end with all the charts that we've used, so you have them for reference. I meant to do that earlier, however, I got locked into something that took up a good part of the afternoon, so I was just a tad behind. Match any answers to questions, and just by matching them, automatically changes things for you. If you're going to use a meditative state, use it to increase your physical intelligence. Now, overwhelm is big in the general population of the world, and it's just a little here. But we still want to strengthen it, and we still want to delete it and ensure that it's never a bother to us in this group or our families. Telepathically inspire. The outside is a little weak. Telepathic is strong in both directions, but you want to make it even for coming in and going out with people, both in your past and in your future, so that when you're moving up and down the timeline, all right, and going into the future to see what happened or where the weaknesses were, okay, that it's very easy to find. And certain people have certain religious beliefs, and you just want to change that so that there's less question about it entirely when you're shifting between things in the past and things in the future. It's just physical intelligence. The awareness is a bit weak, so we want to strengthen and delete any negative effects. Non-physical is a weakness, and mental thinking. Kind of an obsession here. Some people using mental thinking. And we want to ensure that mental thinking will not weaken us. Now, most of the time we put the mind out to another universe, but we still want to make sure that mental thinking would not weaken us. And physical thinking now connects you to everything. Physical intelligence at a higher speed. So you want it to be good with the physical universe and the speed of the physical universe. There's a weakness in the group to slow and having the wrong answer. And if you compare each leg of the triad, all right, with slowness and the wrong answer, you want to strengthen and stay strong to the wrong answer, okay, which is the weakest part. And strengthen the triad to 100% infinite potential. And you want to connect with the right answer, to put the situation and ensure against the wrong answer. Now, most of the time, that will come from family members. So we would strengthen and delete any of that. Secondly, would come from culture, because there's kind of an unevenness. So we want to make that even, so it doesn't stop us from getting the right answer. Misguided. The group has a bit of weakness, and it's not from you. It's misguided from parents. So you want to strengthen that to 100% plus infinite potential and 0 minus infinity, and strengthen self-guided to 100% plus infinite potential. And they always tried to do right, but they didn't always. So we strengthen that and we delete out any negative effects. And we check each one for weakness. Then we strengthen the weakness. And that way there's no chance of ever mixing anything up. And with this group, I mean, that's not bad any longer. With emotions. You look at that triad of emotions and reactions and sensations. Emotions mainly come from the body. Mental reactions. You take those down to 0 minus infinity and strengthen. But it's very low in the group. So you can remove all cumulative reactions to 0 minus infinity on sensations. And sensations are shared by the mind and the body. And even though the mind's outside in another universe, but they still share them. So we want to make it even. So we would split those 50-50, all right, between both, and then delete out all old sensations so that they never bother us again. So we would only be experiencing any new sensation in the future and not running it through a past filter. It's just the way it is. I don't make up the rules, okay? It's just achieving immediate results for you guys. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
We will have, where's that button at? We're gonna have no more pains and no more emotion, all right? We're not gonna waste our time anymore with sensation. Sensations, emotions, or reactions, all right? They don't do us any good. We're going to resolve. We're going to resolve right now the karma of calling anyone stupid in the past. And we're going to remove all confrontation. And let's assure that everyone will be resolved with their brain and physical surroundings to 100% plus infinite potential. Got it? Makes sense? I remember, you don't need to know in depth the reason why, all right, or a personal reason. You just strengthen the weakness and strengthen it to 100% plus infinite potential, all right? If your physical surroundings weaken you, strengthen it. And like I said, non-physical could be mental or spiritual. If it's mental, it could be a thinking issue, or it could be emotional, or a psychological issue, all right? There's a small weakness still here with psychological issues, so we would strengthen that and delete it down to 0 minus infinity. Issues, triggers, and choices. You want to be strong with all choices to 100% plus infinite potential. And you want to strengthen family members, okay? Even if there's a psychiatrist or a lawyer in the family, without a word, all right? Don't even ask them. You don't have to say a word. Just identify the weakness and strengthen any negative effects and improve them without even telling them, because they tell you you were crazy anyway. So you just make them centered, stabilized, and neutral, okay? And then you have no problem with them in the family. Am I right? Say hell yes. It's like this,
Hell yes.
I was going to say, there's a delay here somewhere. You guys are getting really good at this, so get on stage and do a presentation. I'm not encouraging you to do that. I'm just saying you guys are getting that good. So improve your family without them knowing. Just do the best for them always, and always strengthen them. And you just make family life so much better. After decades, okay, you guys have perfected forgetting. So you no longer want to forget. And by using your brain, all right, you will resolve any problems so that you don't need to hide it anymore. You don't need to hide the problem. When you make comparison, you now know exactly where to go, strengthen the weakness, whatever's the weakest first, and then bam, just have immediate results. We have the answers, they're all around us, all right? We just keep strengthening our brain to be better at a receiver of information, all right? And when the brain is strong with the physical surroundings, and the physical surroundings are strong with the brain, the answers just come so much easier. Serious illness is easier to resolve than trivial stuff. Because, you know, the mind just thinks that the trivial stuff is just trivial. And if you haven't put the mind over to the side or another universe, then it just gets in the way with thinking that it's no big deal, and it stays around until it becomes something more serious. So just be aware of that, and remember, you always just want to take and move your mind to another universe and work with your brain. Tension is a benefit, both here and in this work and what you do, and in the gym, okay? Everyone here is 100% in the group, but not 100% infinite potential. And it's all ones and zeros, okay? So you want to strengthen the infinite potential for each of you. We're going to strengthen the infinite potential for each of you to 1,000% plus 1,000% plus 1,000%. If you guys give me like one short paragraph or one sentence, there is no problem to solve for the answers to the problem, okay? Most of the time with most people, it is the ongoing conversation that creates more problems than any actual illness. So you want to tense your CNS. You don't want your central nervous system to be relaxed. You want to activate all parts of it all the time, okay? You know, it's like when you put your foot down in the car and you expect there to be performance. You expect it to move, all right? I still expect it to hear the wheels squeal, smoke to come off of it, although that really hasn't happened in most model cars in a long time. But you don't expect to get a message on the dashboard saying, you know, resting presently, please try again later. All right. Ensure that we have feeling perception because we're always increasing our intuition and our telepathic abilities. And we use the telepathic abilities to speak with all parts of the body as well as other people. So any engineer, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to take care of that. Turn them back on later in case somebody was going to make a smoothie on me. Who was I? Oh, engineer. It's the same thing or something else. It's establishing a baseline, okay? And then it's making a change, and then you make a comparison to see what the change did, all right? Whether it's same or different. And if it's different, all right, which is a good thing, you're looking at, is it inside or outside of the body? And it's just a simple process, all right? Animals use a strong central nervous system to the brain perpetually, all right? And they move without warming up. And they don't pull leg muscles. They run, they jump, right? They don't have to warm up for a half hour before they go do something. You perform with your brains. So you want to maintain the performance by connecting your body to the brain and the brain to every part of your body through physical intelligence. And that physical intelligence will maintain the performance and improve your performance on an ongoing basis. I mean, people get old and they can't get up, and then they blame it on, you know, because I'm old. So, you know, compassion for people, you know, you can change that instantly. All right. It's not an Olympic sport to get out of the chair and start moving. All right. You just do it. Knowing, we always want to connect with physical intelligence and then the organs, and then the organs to back to physical intelligence, and then the physical system to be connected, and then from the organs to the tissue, and the tissue back to the organs, and the tissue to the molecules, and the molecule to the tissue, the molecules to the atoms and back, and the atoms to the quantum particles and back, all right? And then the quantum particles to the quantum space and back, so that they're always being strong with one another, so that all the space is energized, so that all the cells are perpetually strong all the way through your system. So it's always strong back and forth through each leg of that. Now that you know how to manage your systems and your digestive systems, all right, you should be able to eat whatever you want. Reaction or emotion, the weakness will tell you, and then just strengthen it. All right, more times than not, it's a reaction. If you want me to talk to a group, just put it together, not 10 or 20, but more, because I run through these things with helping people so quickly, all right, that 10 or 20 people would be like 5 minutes all right? Or if it's a personal thing, you can just come to the clinic, the teleclinic, and get a personal resolution from me. You want the midline strong for all changes, okay? You don't want to struggle with weakness, and it's easy to strengthen, all right? God gave us intelligence, so why would he or she not give us the intelligence to improve ourselves? Yeah. So you resolve your own problems. You just look at your internal computer and you make adjustments in seconds, which is faster than you could open a bottle of pills and swallow one, for everything. You want to be strong with your telepathic abilities with yourself and others, all right, and keep them strong in your psychic surroundings, all right, and do that as well as animals, because animals in your area will tell you a lot, and give you a lot of insight on what's going on in an area. Activation, 5, 4, 3. Keep your physical intelligence strong, physical awareness strong, because they're always strengthening. Strengthen all parts of you. When you do that, you want to experience your experiences, because these are all new experiences. All right. You've already deleted out the older ones. All right. Anytime you're taking notes, it's pretty well obsolete, because by the time you finish writing the notes, the information's already changed. And we make improvements to ourselves, and we should, because we spend 24/7 with ourselves. So we want to ensure that we're strong to ourselves 365. And when we slow down, we have stagnation, or we get sluggish. So we want to be strong to speeding up. We want to speed up to like the speed of the light eventually. We definitely want to be at the speed of the planet. Activation, 7, 4, 2. When you slow down, you die, right? Not. So we want to be at the speed of the planet, and the planet connecting back to you, so you connect to the speed of the planet and constantly increase your speed. When you have a blocking, it can be congestion, inflammation. Inflammation causes, believe it or not, less than 10% in people. And the highest percentage is what, do you think? Stagnation in the public. When water is stagnated, bacteria multiplies rapidly and more pathogens grow in that region. So you make strong for your energy, and keep your energy level high and keep it very strong, and we have no stagnation. Strong to fear, all right, and energy to no misinformation and no misidentity and no misfit. Stagnation is a billion times worse, though. It just becomes a breeding ground of bacteria in your system when you slow down. You don't feel angry. You feel the emotion of anger. And you don't feel sad. You feel the emotion of sad. So much has been downloaded to all of you. It's amazing. Can you feel it racing through you? Yes? Activate now. Cells automatically migrate in your body. They don't just stay in one place. They constantly change, and that's good for you. So you have no concern with osteoporosis. Thank you, Steve. So ensure after today you feel really comfortable improving your life, and your life situations. So your central nervous system is always strong for you, and your physical intelligence is strong for you. by using less mind, which is already happening for you. Your mind can weaken you. So be strong to moving it out to another universe, another dimension, out of the way. We can take care of any shortcomings in DNA and genes and chromosomes. And, you know, they say we can't do that, but you can change it all the way down to the quantum particles. And there's limitations, of course, but you can certainly change like growth performance. We can change weight cells and DNA of how someone feels and reacts within their DNA going forward. So there's much we can do. And that's to ensure that we will always be strong to jumping around. Because this stuff, like your brain, is not linear. And it's second nature to communicate with yourself telepathically. And you want to perpetually do that and check your structure all the way down to the quantum particles and checking for any kind of weakness and obviously repair it. Physical awareness is a bit weaker in this group than as it can compared to physical intelligence. So let's make that even. And physical awareness is like when your dog knows that you're coming home before you even get there, right? And you want that to be nice and strong all the time, so you know what's going on around you. Slowness, slow, not slow, fast, not fast. You're always neutral. And we're as fast as the sun is fast, which is the same speed as quantum particles move. And that will make you faster. You inside's running faster. Okay, you will run faster, and without rushing things. All right, action stays in action, correct? And it's the same in the universe. Things that are on the move perpetually stay on the move. And if at any point you guys have difficulty, you can always come back and make a private appointment. We'll deal with it. Number one thing here, and weakness, is cultural, not necessarily yours, but could be from others. Number two is family. So we strengthen family. Number three is expert advice, waiting for experts to tell you what to do or how to take care of a pain. And we strengthen for that. Education. If you want to do it, I'll take time to acknowledge results. You always want to acknowledge results anytime that you do that when you're making comparison to change. So same, not same. All right. Your exit portals. I know you guys love when I get on this case, okay? But it's important. And it's important seeing things coming out of your feet and your toes, okay? They are the weakest part of your exit portal system. And you want to ensure that your feet and toes, as an exit portal, are strong, and that all weaknesses are deleted out, okay? So that you don't get any swelling in your feet or swelling in your legs, all right? And you want that to be 100% plus infinite potential and 0 minus infinity on all weaknesses on anything regarding the feet and the toes as an exit portal. Obviously, your colon, the exit portal, you want it to be strong. Underarms and under your chin, there's two right here. You want to be strong. You want to be able to get everything out of your body in the fastest possible way. You want your fingers to be strong and the space in between your fingers to be strong so that everything gets out and that there's nothing there that would deform your hands, okay? As you get on in years. And if everything's coming out, nothing will be there. So you want to be strong, invincible to 100% plus infinite potential, 100% infinite time, and be strong to all boundaries for 100% infinite potential, 100% infinite time, okay? Now I'm going to flip over here for a second and play this little video for you guys. So just sit back and relax, and then we're going to go to questions. Maybe we'll. Okay, let's all take a moment, and what I want you to contemplate is what it would feel like to just be all powerful, to have the entire universe obey you. So the first, it does what you say with or without you asking it to. Whatever you like and what it feels like without human emotion or ego. It just is. Just be totally in that energy. And maybe wrapping all that around. Imagine the most powerful, loving force that could possibly be. And if there's a color connected to it, those two powers and those two elements, what color would it be? Breathe them into your heart and fill your body with every cell. Their sound, their taste, their smell. Now merge all of that into that being eternal and having no beginning, no end, as if you had always existed and never existed at the same time. Were you an infinite in everything? That's right. Might there be a color or a set of colors, a sound, a taste, a smell? Breathe all those through your whole body and into your heart. And finally, what would it be like to be all knowing? To be the source and the receiver of all things. To know, to understand from everywhere, simultaneously, from the biggest picture to the most smallest detail, and their colors, and their sounds, and their feelings, and their smell. Breathe all into your heart as well. Breathe all of those wonderful attributes. Merge them fully. So, and then close your eyes and move your consciousness to the center of that. Find the center of it and merge with it. And then just go deeper and deeper and deeper in, until that space is as the entire universe. And you just keep going deeper and deeper and experiencing what would it be like. Just be there. Breathe. All four of these wonderful attributes, merge them fully into them. Close your eyes. Move your conscience right to the center of it. Just go deeper and deeper, deeper in. Just go through that universe. And you just keep going in and experience. Now allow that power and that love and all of that knowledge to expand outwards as you grow inwards to it, encompassing everything. And just be there. And when you're ready, come on back. Wasn't so good. Well, I guess it'll have to do. So here we are at the period where we ask some questions. We must listen to our brain and allow spirit to make the needed change. No, two separate things. Your physical intelligence comes from your brain itself, and the spirit would be different. Spirit's job is basically to clean out your system at night. So you would run everything through your physical intelligence to your brain. That was good. Well, thank you. So add in any more questions you guys have, please. Cool. You guys are all fully activated. And in a little while, at some point, you're going to get the final paper on the event, which I would very much appreciate. Everybody fill out like completely. Gives me a lot of insight on where everybody was from the beginning and where they are now and what they got out of it, what they liked, what they didn't like. Just helps greatly in making this even better the next time around. So I would certainly appreciate that. And as well, you can even do it with a video talking about where you were when you started and where you are now, which would be greatly appreciated. Okay, and then as soon as I get those back from everybody, I am going to send out an email where everybody gets their vacation voucher, which was like a $15,000 value, something like that. There's a bunch of trips in there. So you'll end up, you can go to places in the US, the Caribbean, Mexico, Europe, Asia, Bali. Doesn't do flights, but it takes care of you for your hotel and resort stays. And they could be used more than once. So you guys will have like a year where you can just bang out all kinds of trips anywhere you want to go. My gift to you guys for being absolutely amazing, and my absolute pleasure sharing all this and working with so many of you one-on-one, and certainly a few left that I would love to work with one-on-one as well. So let's go back here and see if we have any more questions. Come on, guys. It's your last chance. There's no next meeting to answer the question. Well, actually, there is. I'm doing a master class on next Monday, which is a segment that you guys went through. And you're all invited to come and participate. It's a $97 master class, but you guys are all invited to come for free that attended this one, which would be absolutely wonderful and would help greatly with the questions that you already know and stuff that you want to ask with everybody else that's going through it for the first time and getting their feet wet. So by all means, you're all invited for that. So final call for questions. I guess if you were trying to yell them and you guys were all muted, I guess that could have been a problem. So you can all talk now. But if that's it, then we're going to call it an evening. So you can have all your activation, make everything perfect in your system. Yes? Yes.
Yes. So I guess I need to set up another appointment with you.
Always welcome to do that, either in person or online, either way you want to do it, buddy. Whatever works best.
By the way, happy 4th of July to everyone who's out there. Be safe, especially if you're going to be shooting off fireworks.
Yes, which we should be doing from your balcony, because looks like you would have the view of the fireworks, yes?
No, you got to actually walk out to the beach.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, what's that, 13 feet away? I feel bad for you. All right, guys. Have a great weekend, a great 4th of July. Be safe, and we will see you. Hopefully, we'll see all you guys on Monday night.
I'll be there.
Very good. Good night.
Hearing something that I haven't heard before, or hearing something in a context I haven't heard before is interesting. It's like, they say, deja vu.